Do you know ball?
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 Do you know ball? Episode 55, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the best podcast on planet Earth. My name is Matthew DeGenero. I'm joined here with Zachary Pappenberg. Say hi, Pap.
What's going on, guys?
And today we have a special guest, former Division III athlete, Jonathan Stevens. Say hi, Jonathan.
What's up, guys? Happy to be back. It's been a long time. Um, Glad to be back home. Very excited to be on here today.
All right, yeah, love the energy today from all three of us. I think that we're going to have a great pod today because we have a lot of different topics, a variety of baseball, basketball, even a little bit of football. Johnny wants to add his expertise at the end over there. So, without further ado, let's get into the first topic of today. The Subway Series just ended, and the Yankees took the series 2-1 against New York Mets. So, before we begin, me and Johnny are Yankees fans. Zach is a Mets fan. Sucks to be him right now because the Yankees absolutely demolished the Mets in the two games that they did win. So, let me give the rundown real quick. The whole main story for everything was going to be Juan Soto. I think that was, the big story, the big selling point, for those that need a little bit of a refresher. Juan Soto, star slugger for the New York Yankees last season, left the Yankees and joined the New York Mets this offseason for a record-breaking $765 million contract, which you can get as high as up to, what is it, $800 million with incentives and opt-ins and all that. So first off, I'm not going to go into detail with all the games, but as someone that was there, I was at the very first Subway Series game, and the I'm like at a loss for words. At the very first Subway Series game that I was at, the crowd was into it from the moment the game started. Absolutely. Soto came out to do stretches. The boos just rained down. And I've been to a lot of sporting events. I went to James Harden's return to Brooklyn when he joined the Sixers. I was at Kevin Durant's return to Brooklyn when he joined the Suns. I was at Manny Machado's first game as a Padre ever since he joined them and not the Yankees. I went to pretty much a lot of Astros versus Yankees games. So the amount of Altuve chants and Altuve boos I've heard, all of that, all of those experiences I've been to, none of it compared to what I heard when the Yankees and Juan Soto reunited. The atmosphere was absolutely insane. And as a Yankee fan, it was just so great to hear. So, Johnny, before we actually go into this a little bit more, what were your thoughts on all the booing and all like the torture that the Yankee fans were giving Soto? Do you think it's warranted?
Absolutely. I mean, it's weird because like you don't. It's weird to see that for a guy that was only on the team for 1 year, but like the team I saw last year when he was on that team was so like magical and so like such a fun year. And keep in mind, like, we loved him. All the
He
fans
did.
loved him. They showed him so much love from the minute he stepped onto that field in the Bronx.
Yeah.
And he just like, and not only that, went to the World Series. I got to see my team play in the World Series with him on that team.
Hmm.
And then for him to just say to leave, not only just to leave to take more money, but to go to the other team in New York struck a nerve, I'm sure, in every single Yankee fan on this planet.
Hmm.
There are some people that I have heard said, "Oh, well, I enjoy watching him play. I'm not going to boo him." No, he left. He's a snake. He deserved all of it, and I don't know if we're going to talk about this later, but you could see that it affected him too. So
Yeah. We have a separate Juan Soto segment, which I think we'll let the Mets fan himself kind of lead it a little bit because he gets to see it firsthand. Thankfully, Johnny, we don't gotta deal with that anymore because everyone's happy when they're in pinstripes, right? So right, Zach does not like that. He made a face. No, why not, Zach?
No, no. I just want to get into everything because there's so much to unpack, not just with the Subway series, but
Okay.
just with Soto in general too. And
Okay.
I'll leave Soto aside for now. But
Okay.
um, I learned a lot, honestly. I learned a lot about this Mets team over the weekend. Um, and a main issue with this team is the fact of our bullpen. And you may say, "Huh, that's a little odd too." But they only have one lefty in their bullpen, which, if you don't remember, if you don't recall correctly,
I don't.
Bellinger hit the home run off of Genesis Cabrera.
He
Bellinger hit the
did.
grand slam
That was
off of
actually a grand
Genesis
slam.
Cabrera.
I was gonna correct you
And
nicely.
yep, Ge-
Yeah.
Genesis Cabrera is our only lefty in our bullpen. I don't understand why that's a thing and why we're just continuing like at least pull something. Something's got to come up from prospects from farmland. Like you have to bring up someone,
So the loss
something.
is blamed on lack of lefties in
No.
the bullpen.
No. This is just part of the issue.
Okay.
Part of the issue. When you have only one lefty in the bullpen, it's going to be really hard to win a ball game. It's going
Okay.
to be really hard. The next issue is the offense. I don't
I
know
mean,
where it went. I don't know where it went against you guys in the first couple games, in the first game and the last game of the series, but it was non-existent. It's like when you guys took the lead, we just rolled over and died. And that's usually what the Mets do. If if they can't go out and score early on and they can't score consistently, honestly, throughout the game, they wait until like the eighth inning. And if they can't score in that eighth inning, eighth or ninth inning, they don't score at all. That's just how it is. That's how it's been for years, and it's how it's continuing. I've seen plays on the field like Pete Alonso overthrowing
that was
airmail. It's
fun.
not even it's
That
not
was
even just
fun.
that series though. He did it on Monday
Do it
against the
again.
Red Sox, or
He
he did
did.
it. He cannot get into his own head. He can't
Goldschmidt
start
would
getting
never.
into his own head because that's going to affect us in so many ways because he is having a year that I don't think a lot of people thought he was going to have. I think he might actually end up finishing off or right around his average, but right now he's on a tear and he's been on a tear for a while. So, and this is a Pete Alonso that's not only before the Yankee series, he was hitting for average. He was he was hitting home runs. He was doing it all. He was doing a little bit of everything when he was up at the plate. Now he went into the Yankee series. I don't know what happened. He had like one single, uh, very minimal success at the plate
Yeah.
when he came up. He struggled in the field, made the error in the field, continued to make another error when he played the Red Sox this week. I don't know. I don't understand why he's getting in his own way. I don't understand why the Mets have one lefty in the bullpen still, and they're going to continue to have it until to the trade deadline. So if that's the case, that's definitely an issue we have to explore.
No.
The pitching, the starting pitching, it was never a question of it was always the question of how long. How long could this last? How long could they take you? How long can Griffin Canning and Tyler McGill and Clay Holmes and David Peterson and all those guys, how far could they take you? Senga, how far could they take you? How far can a rotation like that take you until it crumbles? And
Hmm. Yeah.
Griffin Canning was one of the bright spots from the weekend. He continued to pitch well. He's been pitching well all year, which has kind of shocked me, and I know it's shocked a lot of other Mets fans as well. But besides that, like Tyler McGill had to step it up. I knew from the beginning on Friday that Tyler McGill just didn't have it because it was either a ball or it was right down the middle of the plate. And I called it. I called it too. I said if he keeps leaving it there, which is obvious, it's blatantly obvious. If he keeps leaving it down the middle of the plate, the Yankees are going to destroy it. And that's exactly what they did. Because it's never just a couple runs. If it's more than a couple runs with the Yankees, the game's just pretty much over. And I've learned that from our fellow Yankee fans. Um,
Hmm.
but
Johnny, what do
I
you think about
just
that?
I
Yeah.
just can't believe what happened over the weekend. I wanted it to be more competitive, but
I'm glad it wasn't, personally. I do want to say the Yankees do only have one lefty in the bullpen, considering Yarborough is in the rotation now. So the argument that the Mets only have one lefty,
well, no, I'm not. I'm just saying it's
I'm
it's an
just saying
issue.
that
Isn't not
that
an issue for you too? Like you don't think that one
I mean,
lefty?
we're winning.
I think that the Mets need. They had Minter. Granted, Minter was probably the only really good lefty in the
Isn't he out
pen.
for the year?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had Tommy John. So we
that
lost him,
sucks.
and then Danny Young. But Danny Young,
Who?
who cares?
Who?
Straight up, who cares? Who
My
cares about Danny Young? Nobody
my
cares about
apologies
Danny
to the
Young.
Young family, but who?
Nobody
Who?
cares about Danny Young.
Johnny,
But
do you know who Danny Young is?
the more lefties in the pen, the better. And like
Okay.
it's good to have a mix. I feel like that's an issue that they need to address. It's not only that, it's the rotation. And then Pete's gotta just Pete's got to get his head really out of his ass when it comes to fielding sometimes.
Why are we blaming Pete when I feel like a lot of the blame
Oh,
should
well,
be on
all the
once?
blame should be on Soto, but we didn't get
Okay.
there yet.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a different
We
topic.
didn't get there
Well,
yet, dude. I
Me
said
and
Soto aside.
me and Johnny didn't even get to talk about the Yankees yet,
all of
Go
really.
ahead.
all of
Go ahead.
the all of the all of okay. It's not all Juan Soto. I mean, on Sunday night, oh, Lindor 0 for 4, Pete Alonso 0 for 4, Soto 0 for 4.
Yeah.
That's not just one person.
It's called the lights being too bright.
Um,
I don't know if it's necessarily that. I don't know if it's lights being too bright because Lindor, Pete, they've all done it. Soto, everybody in the top half of the lineup has been there, done that before. Like they've our guys on our team have been in
Also,
tough
Mark
situations and come through.
Vientos has not even come close to the form he was in last year.
I told you. I
Not
told
as of
you.
yet, but he's been hitting a lot better recently. He's brought his average up to like 250, he's sitting around there. And from the beginning of the year, he didn't even have an average, to tell you the honest truth. Neither him
I
nor Beatty had an
And
average.
I told you Mark Vientos was one of the luckiest players in baseball last year. He outperformed his expected stats, and no one wanted to listen to me.
He
And
did,
that's
and you know what? He's definitely going through his sophomore slumps. I'm not disagreeing with you guys on that. Like he's going through his sophomore slump right now.
you.
But
You said he's improved recently.
over recent time, bro, if you look at the beginning of the year, he didn't have an average. He was that bad. He was batting like 69. He could not he could not put bat on ball at all.
I mean,
From the beginning of the year to now, yes, it's an improvement, but he's still struggling at the plate.
I
He's
don't
still
know.
going through his sophomore slump.
I don't know. I'm looking at his ex-Woba right now. From May 9th to May 15th was his best stretch. If we're looking at his best 50 or his most recent 50 plate appearances, right now he's under league average. He's under league average by a decent margin right now. So maybe there's no hope for Mark Vientos.
I wouldn't say that there's no hope. I still think he has a high ceiling. I still have a lot of confidence in him
I
at
mean,
third base, but
Miguel Andujar,
make
we
it
had high
worse.
confidence for him, right, Johnny? And what happened to that?
all
But
right,
then
well, you're
Yeah.
comparing Miguel Andujar to Mark Vientos right now. Like he hasn't even finished his full second year as
But
the Mets third baseman.
I'm just saying it could be Miguel Andujar 2.0.
But it won't be.
How do you
I don't think
know?
it will be. I,
Why? Because Vientos showed flashes.
I you can't say for sure, obviously, but it you it's hard to say with Vientos because he had such a good year last year,
I
and
mean,
then
Andujar did too, though.
but again,
Andujar, in my
we're not
opinion,
comparing,
Andujar should have beat Otani for Rookie of the Year. In my opinion, I'm just saying.
dude. Dude, we should not be
What?
comparing. We should not be comparing Miguel Andujar to Mark Vientos. They're
I'm
two
just
different
saying.
players. They're
I
two
understand
different
that
players.
two different players, but the situations can be very similar.
Can be, can be, but you have to let him see his second year. Let him let
I'm
him go
watching
through
his
his
second year right now.
let him go through the full year first, and
I'm
then we can make comparisons. Then we can fully assess the situation. But right now, for the time being, he's going to be the starting third baseman for the New York Mets.
hmm
There's nothing anybody or anyone could do about that. But I'm excited to see how he progresses as the year goes on because
okay.
he's going to have to, right? If he wants to keep his job, because there's other guys that could play that position. There's another exciting
Brett Beatty.
switch hitting bat in our farm system. And it's not Brett Beatty. Switch hitting
Well,
bat in our farm
you're
system,
saying
Ronnie
no.
Mauricio.
Well, I said that before you said that.
It's not Brett Beatty. It's not Brett Beatty. Brett Beatty
Other
has
people are
had
talking about moving Brett Beatty to third base and DHing Vientos for a while.
if that happens, that happens. But Brett Beatty had like a little bit of a surge recently where he had like 5 home runs or 4 home runs in like a 6 game stretch or so. So he's been on the up, but I can't put all my faith in him because of what he's
Okay.
done the past couple years.
And also, what's going on with Marte?
Nothing. That's what's going on with Marte.
Can
Marte's
I be honest?
never been good.
Can I be honest?
He's just so bad. And like ever since he got hurt
Can I
after that one year where he was good in 21, he just 21 and 22. Or no, it was 22,
can,
sorry.
can Can I be
Good.
honest?
Good.
I think we're talking too much about the Mets, respectfully. I think the talk should be about the Yankees.
All right,
Then
then pan it back to
go.
the Yankees.
Just, just. I mean, look. The Yankees won the Subway Series. Okay, I mean, Plan B looked like Plan A, right? Max Fried, Devin Williams, Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger, right? They all killed the Mets. Absolutely killed. Without them, we might not have won that series. But the two games we did win were blowouts. They were blowouts. And the game we did lose was very close. And you can put the blame on Aaron Boone. You know, he likes to make Fernando Cruz a multi-inning pitcher, blah, blah, whatever you want to say. You can maybe put that blame on Aaron Boone if you want. But if you don't want to, whatever. Plan B looked like Plan A. It was a great night for Brian Cashman both nights. And just as Yankee fans, you know, I'll make this quick because I know you want to keep talking about the Mets for whatever reason. But just as Yankee fans, it's so great because it was all the chatter from like the Mets fans, you know, just saying like how good they were and how Juan Soto is going to turn up, and just seeing Soto struggle and fail and potentially not enjoy his new situation is just so great. And we're going to go into more depth, but like I feel like I was going to talk about a lot more, but I feel like we got super sidetracked with the Mets.
Well,
Johnny, my
I was being interrogated a little bit. So,
I mean, Johnny, did I miss anything? I mean, like
On the Yankees?
it was great all around. Rodon's looking
Oh, I
great
mean, yeah.
still. Yeah.
Max Fried, Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge.
hmm
Um,
Bellinger finally looks
and that
incredible
he
now.
had a crazy series.
Grand
That's
slam.
what, a lot of people talk about. Like, if we re-signed Juan Soto, there would be no Bellinger. There would be no Devin Williams. There would be probably wouldn't be an Paul Goldschmidt.
Probably wouldn't be Max Fried either, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, there would yeah. So and that even makes it worse because then we have no Max Fried with no Garrett Cole because he's getting Tommy John.
Mhm. But like Rodon is still having a great year though.
Yeah,
Rodon's been great.
yeah.
And like
He's I don't know.
he
I want to see more still. I want to see more consistency.
I do. I agree, but he's very on or off, and just so far, just what we've seen, he's been great. And like that's the Rodon you signed, right? You wanted the White
Yeah.
Sox, the end of White Sox tenure Rodon. You wanted the Giants Rodon. Now you're finally getting a glimpse into All-Star Rodon. And the first couple years with the Yankees, it was not pretty at all, as we know, right? His first year with the Yankees was utter garbage, right? Last year was, you know, whatever, and this year he's finally looking like he's playing up to his contract a little bit. So it's really good, especially with Garrett Cole injured. But right now, I do want to kind of. A lot of people like to call me, like, I'm a Yankee fan, but a lot of people like to also call me the Yankees' biggest hater, which I will gladly take that title. So, right now, before we actually go into the Mets and we talk about Soto and everything like that, just really quickly, as we know, the Yankees take this Subway Series, and a lot of people are saying that for the first time in history, it seemed like this Subway Series meant more to Yankees fans than it did to Mets fans. Do you agree with that, Johnny? Because everyone says the Subway Series is like the
Yeah.
Mets
I
World
mean,
Series. So
yeah, it's
I agree with that.
it it was important to us because we were playing Minnesota. That's
Yeah.
it was us against him. Like it really wasn't against anyone else.
It was like a screw you, Soto. We don't need you. We're better off without you. We are the second best team in the AL. We're winning our division by a large margin right now. We don't need you. You know, that's
Yeah.
what this became. And
Yeah,
I
I
do
agree.
agree. Yeah. And you think that this team is World Series bound again? I think if they
Yes,
add one
I
more
think there are
bat.
some things that need to be cleaned up a little bit, but
Mhm,
looking at this American League, it's 100% possible. I mean, there's
mhm.
not anyone that scares me, that I'm intimidated by, as there were last year's, couple years ago. We had
Yeah,
the Astros, they were our kryptonite. Um, but there's just no one that bothers me. And it's still early. Somebody could just show up
this is
out of nowhere.
true. Yeah.
Someone could start playing good. I could definitely see the Red Sox getting hot. Like that's not something
I
that
mean, they are about to sweep the Mets, so there's a chance.
um
There's a chance.
but
Stack, did
yeah,
you know that?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Orioles
knew
fall off
that.
a cliff.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I
Orioles
knew
fall
that.
off a cliff.
hmm Yeah.
Volpe needs to figure it out in the box. That's something that is a serious concern, needs to be thought about a little more because
Okay.
I think he is what he is, though. I think he's just a really, really good glove, and he's a under average hitter. But other
Well,
than that, I think everyone's performing well.
he's got a great glove. He's young. He's from Jersey. He's Italian like chicken parm. He'll be the Yankee shortstop for the next decade. That's just how it's going to be. That's the truth. That's how it's going to be. I don't see them moving on from him. He's probably behind Judge He's probably second in jersey sales on the team, maybe behind Cole. Honestly, I doubt it. I could see Volpe being two. I'm just thinking from a business perspective. They're just not going to get rid of Volpe, and they're going to let him
So do you
develop.
think if he keeps hitting the way he's hitting, they're just gonna like ride him out for the next decade?
His glove will save him. I promise you.
Eh,
He's under team control for who knows how long. I mean, he's still young. He was a rookie, what, 2 years ago? I mean, they haven't had a good shortstop since what? I'm not even gonna say Jeter. I mean, like
Maybe.
serviceable. Didi, probably, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they haven't had a good shortstop. And Didi was what? What was the last time Didi played? 17,
a long
18?
time ago.
Yeah, it was like
Something like
close
that,
to
yeah.
it was a
17,
while ago.
18.
It was a while ago. So they're gonna keep Volpe. And keep in mind, they passed up on guys like Seager and Correa
Oh,
and
that's so
Simeon. They
crazy.
passed up on Trey
That's
Turner.
crazy.
Story. They passed up on. They put all their eggs in Volpe, and now they kind of have to just live with it. And they have to hope Volpe turns around. And like,
That haunts me though,
I
because they're
agree.
better
I
than
would.
him.
Seager was the perfect fit for the Yankees, and I'm not going to dwell on Seager now. But I feel like we talked about everything we need to for the Yankees. I will say for them to be a contender, I think they are a contender. Let me get that put. But for me to like really be like, yeah, okay, like this is like it's us again. Maybe you go out and get one more good starter because
Oh yeah,
I mean Cole's done for the year, and who
Heel's
knows if
coming back. We don't know what he's gonna be.
Heel's coming back as well. Did you say Heel? Or you said Cole.
Yeah, I said heel.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't hear you. But Heel's coming back, and you still would probably need one more guy, and you need a third baseman, 100%.
That's yeah.
I mean, you have Jazz coming back. Who knows when? I mean, do you trust him at third? I mean, DJ's at second right now. You take DJ out, you put Jazz at second.
Abs-
Go
I
out.
I I think. Listen, it's great. DJ played well. I just think him playing well gives him a longer leash because I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna. He's
They'll
old.
they'll probably put him at third base when Jazz comes back. I know how Aaron Boone operates. So get a third baseman, maybe get another pitcher, and the Yankees are looking good. And this Subway Series was a really good glimpse to the Yankees' future for the rest of the season. And now we can talk about the Mets. Sorry, we can talk about the Mets now. Um,
Yeah,
Zach,
I
yeah,
could I could keep it somewhat brief because we did talk about the Subway Series and the Mets and the Yankees for a while now.
yeah. This is
Uh,
about Soto though.
this
This
is
is
this is
just
specifically about Soto and like just targeting what he's
I'm all ears.
targeting what he's been doing
I'm all
the
ears.
past couple months since he's become a Met. And what is actually frustrating to me, probably along with a lot of other Mets fans, is a couple things, right? He's not shuffling anymore. He's not really looking competitive in the box. He's really just kind of going up there, smiling, having a good time, not taking things too seriously. And then when it comes time to like actually, participate in actually being in a competitive baseball game, he hits a ground ball and he doesn't run it out. He doesn't run it out. And you know what? Like from your star players, you should be able to set the example for the younger guys. Mark Vientos had this problem in the beginning of the year, and Lindor laid into him. And so, if Lindor is showing that courtesy to Mark Vientos, I don't see why he shouldn't show that same courtesy to Soto because Soto needs to like get it together and completely. Like he needs to be more competitive. He needs to bring that fire back. I don't know where the Soto from the Nationals went, where the Soto from last year went. I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea where he went, but he needs to just try to get some more competitive edge back. If you're not running it out on a ground ball, you're not running it out on the most recent example. What you thought was a home run turned out to be a long single off the green monster. It's like, dude, run it out. Run it. Just get to second base. If it goes over the wall, if you're 100% sure, just still run it. Run to second base. At least make a double out of it. But you're hitting it and you're watching it and you're seeing it clank off the top of the wall and you're still standing on first base. And you know what? That's a runner in scoring position and that's also a run that we could have scored potentially in that game. But we didn't because he was on first base instead of where he should have been, which is second base. So it's little things like that I'm sure have been bothering a lot of Mets fans along with me. Another thing that I've noticed is the opposite field factor. I don't know, Johnny Deach, if you remember, if you know Juan Soto, he can spray it to all
Backside.
ends of the field. All ends of the field, no doubt about it. But for some reason this year, he's become more of a pull hitter than anything. And that's odd. That's not Soto. Soto uses all angles of the field to hit the baseball. Like he could put the ball anywhere on the field, no matter what. But he's not doing that this year. He's pulling. He's pulling too much. And I don't know. There's so many things, so many issues wrong with Soto, and he just needs to get his competitive edge back. Like he needs to bring that to the table because if he doesn't, then this team is not going to get anywhere in years to come. It's just not. He's just going to collect a check and have him wear a New York Mets uniform for like 15 years
I
because
have a
we're not
question.
getting rid of him
Yeah,
after.
I have a question. Speaking about his competitive
Yeah.
edge, speaking on his competitive edge, do you think he wants to be a Met? Like straight up. Like, do you think he enjoys being a New York Met? I don't think this is a slump. I think this is a lot mental thing. I think the Yankee fans have been getting to him. There have been reports that his family wanted him to be a Met while he wanted to be a Yankee, and maybe he's having some buyer's remorse. You know, there's now reports coming out saying he doesn't even fly with his teammates. He flies with his family. But if it makes you feel any better, I'm pretty sure Jeff Passan debunked it. So if that like keeps you up at night, don't worry. He promised to be mic'd up during the Yankee game and then chose
Then
not
yeah,
to, backed out of it. He
that was weird.
told reporters after the game that he would talk to them post game, but he had to go see his family first. Soto never came back. Last year, he was always in his locker, always willing to talk to reporters, and also comments. Earlier this season, Soto said that he wanted to take accountability and take it like a man, but him backing out of the interviews and him lying to reporters doesn't seem like him taking it like a man. So with all this, put together, and reports especially coming from Yankees higher ups and even higher ups in the Mets organization are now concerned with his lack of enthusiasm. I don't know which Mets executive it is. I just know it is a Mets executive. And Bob Clappish has been around for so long, wouldn't write it if it wasn't true. So as a Mets fan, truthfully, don't let me and Johnny's Yankee bias deter you or scare you. Answer wholehearted honestly. Do you think Juan Soto misses the Yankees? Do you think he enjoys being a New York Met?
So I do full-heartedly believe that Juan Soto misses being on the Yankees. I think he misses hitting behind Judge as much as I hate to say it. I think he misses that atmosphere, that team, that vibe that he got last year and leading up the way the fans rallied around not only him but the team to, you know, get behind them as they made their World Series push. I think he misses all of that. I think he misses everything. The bright lights of Yankee Stadium. I think he misses it. He for sure has to. It meant a lot to him. I think deep down, no matter where he ended up signing the dotted line, signing the contract, going to whatever team he did, he misses the Yankees, and it's very evident that he misses the Yankees. But to that, I say, you made your bed. Now you got to lay in it. Like, okay, if you wanted to be a Yankee so bad, so very bad, then you had the opportunity to sign the dotted line and sign yourself over to the Yankees, but you didn't. You didn't, and you came to the Mets, and now this is the situation that you've been given, and now you're gonna have to make something of it. You're gonna have to make something of it. Otherwise, this is really gonna be a blemish on his career. And I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, but this decision could really be a major blemish on his career, depending on how the next couple of years look with the Mets. And it may take. I'm not even saying it's like close. I don't even know because there's a lot of things that the Mets have to do to be World Series ready. And when they're World Series ready, we'll all know because I'll let everybody know that it's this is our year. This is where we're gonna go and we're gonna win a championship this year. But at the moment, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like we're just still treading water. We're still seeing what we have, and we have to, make adjustments accordingly. But Soto has to bring that intensity. If we want to get anywhere in the future, Soto has to bring that intensity. So again, I do think he misses the Yankees, but I do think there is a part of him. It may be not as big at the moment, but it will grow over time. I hope. that enjoys being a New York Met.
So do you
That's my
think
honest opinion.
so you think he will enjoy being a Met because he's forced to, or like because he'll be on the team, he has no like opt like he can't leave pretty much, or like you just think like he wants to be a Met?
No, I think he genuinely wants to be a Met, but there is part of him that still lives at Yankee Stadium right now, and we have to get rid of that part because it's obviously affecting him. No matter how many times that he tells the reporters or he could say that it doesn't bother me. You know, I live for the moment or I live for the competition. He wants to face Judge. He wants to be in that bright spot and under those lights. And yet to do what he did to go 1 for 10 over the weekend, it's not acceptable. Not acceptable from a star player and to just jog to first base when you could have been safe, to just jog again to first base on what could have been a double in the Red Sox series. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of problems right now in Metland with Soto. And look, it's not so much of a force. He's just gonna have to X out that other half of him that wants to be in at Yankee Stadium.
All right, well, I'm glad I have my own opinion on it, but I feel like we've been on Mets and Yankees for
So
so
long.
long that I almost feel like we really should move on to the next topic. But I thank you for your passion, Zach. I'm happy that yeah, I'm happy Soto's struggling a little bit. As a human being, it sucks. I don't want to wish harm on any human being. I would never do that. But as a baseball fan, seeing him struggle at the plate and him not being the Juan Soto we all know and love, I like it. I like it. Me personally, you left a perfectly great situation. You would have had Aaron Judge hitting behind you for at least what, 7 years. You were absolutely beloved by the fans and the front office as well. Everything was going great for you. You were in the World Series. You were in the World Series in the weaker league. The National League is incredibly hard. And you can argue that there are two teams in your new division that are better than you. You could. I know the Braves have not been playing their best baseball, but when they're all healthy, you can definitely say that they're better. The Phillies right now have a better record. Like you have your own division to worry about now. In the AL East, you would have been the top dogs, and even in the AL itself, you would have been the top dogs, 100%. So I think it's all from money. I do somewhat believe the reports that the Yankees were his number one choice. He keeps saying it in all of his interviews. The Yankees were number one. The Yankees were number one. And then I think his family definitely did give him the push at the end and be like, no, we want you to go to the Mets. Because his mom was getting a free wardrobe. Whose mom would not want a free wardrobe, right? Whose parents would not want free security and free suites and a private jet? Who would not want that? But,
So
you know,
bad with the Yankees, though.
like that's the thing. The Yankees. They didn't give it to Jeter. They didn't give it to Judge. They're not going to give it to Juan Soto. So I think the front office for the Yankees, and I think especially the Yankee fans, they did everything they could. And even the season itself, it's not like they had a failure every season. They were in the World Series. They just did not play their best baseball. Sloppy errors, that was the Yankees in the World Series. But the Yankees legitimately did everything right. They did everything they could. And they even went as far to keep matching Stevie Cohen until they realized, you know what? Like we just this is ridiculous. They offered him 760. They offered him an extra year on the contract. They did everything right. And Soto unfortunately did not see that, and now I as my dad likes to say, he's stuck in prison. He's stuck in Queens for the next 15 years, and I hope he regrets it because I'm a generational hater, and
I hope he doesn't, but
I hope he does.
that's a whole nother issue. Whole nother issue. But
Yeah.
speaking of other things, Paul Skeens, could he be on the move? Who knows? Who knows? But there's been a lot of talk about Paul Skeens and potentially, him being moved from the Pirates in a trade. A lot of teams honestly could really fit the description, and on they could use any team really in the MLB could use Paul Skeens. Let's be honest. Like he is going to be one of, if not the best pitcher in baseball for years to come. The kid is super talented. He's got such good movement on his fastball, his off speed. He's such a good, talented pitcher. So no team should refuse him. No team should not want Paul Skeens on their team. So with that being said, some analysts have compared Paul Skeens and this type of move to like a DeGrom and the Mets type thing, and I understand that. I could see where they're coming from because in a lot of ways, Paul Skeens reminds me of DeGrom because of his lively fastball and his just fire at that age. DeGrom was the same way. He was the same way, and he's dominant. He showed dominance for years. So I think Skeens obviously has the potential to do a lot, but I think he doesn't have that potential on the Pirates because I don't really see the Pirates. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get somewhere in within the next couple of years. And maybe that just might be me, but a trade for Paul Skeens might make sense depending on who who they can get like prospect wise. But at the same time, like with franchise guys like this, you really, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to get rid of him, just like it was hard for Mets fans to accept the fact that DeGrom was gone. The only difference is the that Paul Skeens and the Pirates have team control, where the Mets, you know, you know how it happened with DeGrom. I don't even want to relive that night. I
Mhm.
don't. I really don't. To tell you the honest truth. But what I'm curious. What do you guys think? What teams could potentially make a run at Skeens?
I mean, well, first of all, I don't think it's the same situation. DeGrom's like, I think DeGrom left too late. Paul Skeens he's in his second year, and he's already talking about getting traded. Like DeGrom got traded to the Rangers and then had to get Tommy John.
DeGrom signed with the Rangers. Sorry.
Signed,
Yeah.
sorry.
Just gotta I gotta fact check. I'm
Yeah,
that
no, there's
guy.
definitely teams that are in the market for him. I just don't know if the Pirates are willing to get rid of him.
They
He
really have to get the right
he's the
package.
face of the team. He brings in so much fans, so much money for that team. Him like an O'Neal Cruz. So I don't know what you would have to give up to get him. I really don't.
These, what about you? What
Yeah,
do you
I
think?
mean, I there is zero shot the Pirates trade Paul Skeens. They are a franchise that nothing has really gone right for them in recent memory. So for them to finally now have someone that they can build around and be like guaranteed the next best pitcher in baseball, and you have him under team control, like that would just be suicide for the fans. They will never trade Skeens no matter how good the package is. The only team, like off the top of my head, that I genuinely think could give somewhat of a compelling package would be the Boston Red Sox, simply just because their farm system is loaded. I mean, they unloaded the farm kind of for Garrett Crochet. And I mean, for a guy like Paul Skeens, you would hope any of those prospects turn into Paul Skeens. And keep in mind, Paul Skeens is like what, 22 years old? 23, like he's stupid young. It's not like they're trading for some old veteran. That's the only team that I could see making a somewhat realistic package for Paul Skeens. And I have a like a mock trade up on my screen, and it would look something or like they proposed Christian Campbell, Roman Anthony, and Marcelo Meyer. How do you say his last name? Is it Meyer? I think it's Meyer.
Marcelo Meyer,
I don't care. Yeah,
I think. I'm
I don't
pretty
give
sure.
two flying craps about the Red Sox as a Yankee fan. So I'll just say it again. Christian Campbell, Roman Anthony, and Marcelo Meyer. Those three alone, and I don't remember off the top of my head. Obviously, Roman Anthony's the number one prospect in baseball right now. Like he would have to be in this trade. Christian Campbell is number two
Hmm.
in AL Rookie of the Year right now. And in terms of MLB prospects, I want to say he's like number four. Am I wrong? Oh no,
And
I
and also, I was just gonna say too before you finish, I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure Meyer is now the everyday second baseman
Yeah.
for the Red
They
Sox.
they just called up Meyer. Meyer is number 8 in the league in
Hmm.
terms of prospects. Christian Campbell is no longer considered a prospect. He doesn't have the prospect status anymore, so I can't see, but I think he was as high as 4 if I'm not mistaken. So that's literally the Red Sox, who you can argue have the best farm system in baseball. That is literally their top 3 trade pieces. And honestly, I think the Red Sox might hang the phone up on that. I think they do. Maybe the Pirates. I don't know what the Pirates would do because something like this is just so crazy to even think about. Like a freaking Paul Skeens trade. Why would you trade him? He was a number one pick 2 years ago. It's all just fluff. they're not going to trade him. I'm almost positive that the rumors were shut down recently too. But in my eyes, that's the only team that I can see making a somewhat compelling offer. So other than that, I think I'll just leave it at that. I think I'll just leave it there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you though too. Like, there's some other teams that I think can make an interesting push at it. Like, sure, like maybe the San Diego Padres, but that would be only if they were willing to give up Ethan Salas, which is obviously they're one of their top prospects. I don't know if they'd be willing to do that though, because the catching position for them, I mean, they got Higashioka right now, and they got some other guys to fill in that role, but they're really just like role players right now. They're really looking for that guy to put behind the dish, and they don't have that right now. So that's why I don't know if they'd really feel comfortable with giving up Ethan Salas, regardless if they were getting Skeens back or not. Um, when it comes to the Cubs are another interesting option. I think that'd be a terrific pair at the top of the rotation with Imanaga and Skeens, but then you also got to be willing to give up, your prospects, your guys. A name thrown out there. One of the main names that was thrown out there was Matt Shaw. And again, that's gonna be have to be a risk that you're willing to take. But even then, if like the top name really on that list is Matt Shaw, if I'm the Pirates, do I really want to make that move? Regardless of what Matt Shaw could be, who knows? Like, I feel like the best potential landing spot was the Boston Red Sox because of their farm system. I was gonna say the same thing as you, Deej.
Mhm.
They have such good depth, and if they're getting back Meyer, Campbell, um, and Roman Anthony, dude, like that's gonna be really
And
hard to turn down. I'm not
that's
gonna
a
lie.
haul.
That's
That's like a Soto package, like what the Nationals got pretty much for the Padres, but maybe
that
better,
has the
honestly.
potential to be better. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was just about to say because
yeah.
those three guys, I mean, dude, Campbell is doing crazy right now in the MLB right now. Meyer is their starting second baseman, and Roman Anthony is gonna follow suit soon. I'm pretty sure they're planning to call him up soon. I don't know exactly when, but that's three guys that are already like MLB ready talent that you could add to your roster that needs a lot of help. It's gonna be hard to refuse if that's even an offer that could be potentially on the table. But then again, like I can't see the Red Sox doing that, honestly. Like you can't give up everybody after what Campbell's shown you this year. Meyer hasn't even like begun yet. Anthony hasn't even touched the big leagues yet. You can't get rid of your prospects. If I'm the Red Sox, I really wouldn't be looking to do that. I want to keep my prospects. But then again, who knows? Who knows? Anything can happen. And I also saw that Paul Skeens had I think an estimated trade value of a little more, I think $94 million around that. I think it was a little
Hmm.
more than Crochet, what the Red Sox traded for Crochet.
Yeah, it's stupid expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and rightfully so though, because I mean, what do you do? What do you do? He's such a talented kid, and I'd be interested to see if the pot actually gets stirred a little bit more with this rumor and this buzz going out there that Skeens could be on the move. But yeah, I think like teams like that make sense. And just one thing that I'll put out there just to wrap up what I'm gonna say is if for some reason, for some unholy reason, the Dodgers get him and he's a Los Angeles Dodger for whatever reason, just I can't. I don't even want to think about
He's
that
not going to
because
be a
like
Dodger, I
Not
promise.
happening.
He will
yeah,
not be a Dodger.
I I pray every night that he's not a Dodger because it I don't even know.
Don't
It's like
worry.
what do you even say? What do you even say if that did happen?
It
Because
won't
the
happen.
Dodgers already have a stacked rotation. You can't say it'll be more dominant because it already is dominant now. But anyways,
Yeah,
anyways,
we got a couple of topics. We're gonna have to kind of speed this up a little bit.
yeah, Deej, why don't you lead us into our next
Yeah.
topic?
So now that's a lot of baseball talk, so hopefully you baseball lovers will enjoy that. But now we're gonna talk into baseball, and literally this was announced a couple minutes before we started the pod. But Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is officially the new MVP. So Shea won over Giannis and more notably Nikola Jokic. And what I really want to First off, mention as a joke is a lot of people were talking how this year the NBA announced the MVP award really late. Like they announced it like 10 days, 15 days later than they normally would, as opposed to prior seasons. And a lot of people were joking that they were just waiting for the Thunder and Nuggets series to end. And people were saying, oh, whoever wins the series will be MVP. Well, guess what? Thunder won. Shea's MVP. I don't think that's actually how it is. I don't think that's definitely not what they did, but is a little odd. It is a little odd that they waited so long to do it. So, really, the main topic of discussion here is: did SGA deserve MVP over Jokic? Like, I do have the stats on the doc. Zach, if you want to scroll all the way down, I
Okay.
have the two, like no disrespect to Giannis. Giannis is not even in the question.
All right, yeah,
It, it's
no. I
it's
never
SGA
considered,
or Jokic.
yeah, I
Yeah.
never considered Giannis in the question really either. I mean, like, regardless, Giannis has been great, had a fantastic year, never in the question. Sorry.
Hmm.
Sorry, Giannis fans. Sorry, Bucks
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
Just not in the question.
Johnny, I don't know how much you can add to this. I mean, feel free to say whatever you want. I'm a really big Nikola Jokic supporter. I really am. I personally believe that this man can win MVP every single year, and I think he deserves to win MVP every single year. And me and Zach even had a little argument about this a while ago. I don't know if you remember. This was one of our like first true kind of like disputes on the pod where um I said Jokic was more valuable to the Nuggets, or no, was it the other way around? I said that the Thunder would be better off without Shea than the Nuggets would be without Jokic or something, and you disagreed.
I remember that.
And Zach disagreed with me on that. I think it was something like that because I was saying
I think I
overrating
did.
you
Yeah.
were overrating guys like Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, and I was trying to explain how the Thunder still have Chet Holmgren, they still have Jalen Williams, like they still have a freaking squad, and now like they have Hartenstein and you have Lou Dort and you have like that team is stacked, bro. That team is stacked. So I kind of want to add that into the MVP debate because I personally think I still think Jokic should have won it, and I still think he can win it every single year. And I almost view this as the Embiid MVP. I almost view this as, look, someone finally had a good enough year like Jokic. Let's give it to them. I thought Embiid's MVP was like, fine, here, take it. Like that's what I thought it was because people were complaining for years that Embiid should have been MVP, but never actually won an MVP. So when he actually had a similar season to Jokic, even though Jokic's season was better, they said, "Fine, take it, Embiid. Here's your MVP." That's what I think with Shea. I think, Shea finally like really had like this really good year, and the Thunder, the one seed, but they do have a stacked team. In my opinion, like it's more of a stacked team. They did just beat the Nuggets. I think it's one of these scenarios where they're like, you know what? Someone had a just as good of a season as Jokic. Let's give it to Shea. And that's exactly what I think they did here. So I think Jokic was snubbed personally. And you can disagree with me, and I'm not going to argue with you because this MVP race is really close. But that's how I see it. I think the Thunder have a better team, and I think this was a more like fine, shut up, take it MVP. That's how I see it. I still think Jokic deserved MVP, and I will continue to say that until the day he retires.
So I'll actually give my quick thoughts on this.
Please do.
I'm actually kind of in the same boat. Before you even said anything, well, I do think that's a great comparison between Shea Gilgeous and Embiid and the MVPs.
Hmm.
But not it wasn't even thinking about that. Me just personally just looking at it. Obviously, I think the MVP should have gone to Nikola Jokic. I mean, he's beating him in almost in every category except for maybe points.
Hmm.
It's only and it's not by much either. It's like maybe like a little
Yeah.
over two,
Yeah, it's not
maybe
much. Hmm.
close to 3 points more per game. So I do think it's a little more of like you said, just here, shut up and take it. And
Yeah.
and for the next couple of years, we're gonna go back to Jokic pretty much because as long as Jokic continues to put these numbers up, there's no reason why he shouldn't win the MVP for the next like however long he could do this for. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like he 20 almost 30 points per game, averaging 13 boards, 10 assists, and shooting over 50% from the field. Like those are pretty much like video game numbers. Like
Hmm.
that's just realistically how it is. But I do think I do think that, it is deserving for Shea Gilgeous. He's put in so much work. His game has improved drastically over the years. And he's really been that like light for OKC. And you know what? Like they're on a run right now. We'll get to that. We'll talk more about that. But they have a very good chance of making it to the finals and even potentially winning the finals this year.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're still a very young team too. So that should be if I'm an NBA, if I follow the NBA, which I do occasionally, but I'm not really considered an NBA fan. If I'm an NBA fan and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, you know, how far they're going this year, I would be scared a little bit at least because I mean they're only going to get better with the more experience they get. So I do, just to keep it short and wrap it up. I do think it is deserving, but then again, it is kind of like Embiid's MVP. Like, just here, take it, and you got yours, and Jokic is gonna keep collecting as long as he keeps playing the way he does. Johnny, what do you think?
Yeah, Johnny, what are your thoughts on this, man?
I don't really have much. I guess I think if Jokic beat him in most of the stats, I think he should have won MVP. So I guess I would agree that it was a just take it MVP, kind of similar to what we saw with Josh Allen winning over Lamar Jackson in the NFL. But that's really all I can say about it.
Okay. All right, and now we could just hop straight into playoffs,
Yeah.
NBA playoff outlooks. It's the conference finals for both leagues, West and East, and we are underway. The Thunder and the Timberwolves just played game one last night. Shea Gilgeous, came out, did his thing. I think it was another 30-point performance from him, which was terrific. And, the Timberwolves didn't really have it. I believe this final score was like what, 119 to 88. I didn't personally watch the game, but
Yeah, I yeah.
I've kept tabs. I looked up stats and stuff. So I do know that the Thunder took game one of that series, which is huge, honestly, because look, if a game one in any 7 game series, I feel like is one of the biggest games because it's the tone setter. It sets the tone for the rest of the series. Now it just, it eases it up because you at least got one. You at least got one. So regardless of how this next game ends, at least when you're changing location, you know that the series is tied. And I feel like that's the biggest thing with game ones. But they did their thing. The Thunder came out, they won. Um and yeah, I don't really know um if it's gonna be a quiet series from Ant. If he's just gonna be kind of lying down, maybe. I can't expect that from him. I think this is gonna be a very competitive series. I think game one was only the beginning, and it's gonna come out for vengeance in game two, and it's gonna be a lot closer. I think it's gonna be a really back and forth series. If it's not, it would shock me because these are two hungry teams, hungry organizations who really want to win a championship more than anything else.
Mhm.
So I can't imagine this not being a dogfight. Going to the Knicks and Pacers real quick. They start their series tonight. Deej is repping an Indiana Pacers
I
jersey.
am the
Some
the
Halliburton.
biggest Indiana Pacers fan for the next week and a half. I'm putting the Nets aside for the first time in my life aside, and I'm going to be a diehard Pacers fan for the next week and a half. If they make the finals, cool. Don't care.
Technical difficulties. Technical
Hello.
difficulties.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, technical difficulties. I just want them to win the conference finals. That's all I care about. That's it. And then after that, I'll be happily watching Yankees baseball for the next couple of months. That's my plan. So go
I
Pacers.
I think it's going to be a fun matchup. It's a rematch of last year's second round matchup between the two of them. And the Pacers did beat the Knicks the first time round, but I saw some comments saying some things that, oh, the Knicks are a different team. I agree with you all. I agree with you all, and I believe I said that. I might have left it out of the short, but it was in the podcast. The Knicks are a complete different team. They are 100% better than they were last year, and I think they might they might put up it might be an easier fight than we think but I think it's still going to be gritty between both teams. I think my early prediction for that series before it even starts, because the other one we couldn't really make a prediction on because it already got underway. With this one, I can fully see this going to like 6 games. I think I could see the Knicks maybe pulling it out in 6. But I think it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be tough regardless because these are both two teams, again, really want to win a chip, really, really hungry. Pacers, this is their second trip to the Eastern Conference Finals. Knicks, this is their first trip to the Eastern Conference Finals since 2000. It's been like 20, that's 25 years. That's a long time. Knicks fans have had to wait just to even, playoffs aside, just to even get back to the Eastern Conference Finals. 25 years is a long time. So I think
Hmm.
it's gonna be an interesting series to watch. I think that they're gonna kick off their series on the right note with a great game one tonight. We'll see how that turns out. But I personally would like to see the Knicks win. And I know the comment sections think because I have the jerseys in the back, the Mets jerseys in the back, that I'm a Knicks fan. I'm just a casual watcher. I'm just a casual NBA watcher. You really
Well,
can't
Johnny gave a
classify
face to
me
that one. Johnny
as
wanna
Well, you used to be a Knicks fan, bro.
yeah.
You used to
Well,
have it all the
The
time.
truth comes out. Wow, who would have thought?
no. The Johnny, we all know. We all know. But
Well,
anyways, that's not to dwell on it. I just wanted to
Yeah.
give my outlooks. What do you guys think? You want
J-
to touch on
I'll
it?
go first. Johnny, I'm gonna be super quick. Thunder in 6, Pacers in 4.
wow. That's not gonna happen,
You're
DJ.
right. Pacers in 5. No,
No.
I'm kidding. It'll honestly, honest to God, it's gonna be 6 or 7. I fine. You're gonna fine whatever. The Knicks will win in and knowing my luck, actually, that's right. No one has it worse. Knicks in 7, and then Knicks win the NBA Finals in like 4 games.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just
Wow.
I gotta
Yeah.
keep you on your toes. It's gonna be Knicks in 7.
It,
It'll be Thunder. No, Knicks in 6. It'll be Thunder and Knicks in the finals, and then truthfully from there, I will take Thunder in 7. I think that's all bias aside. I just think this Thunder team is too good, and if they make the finals, I think they're good enough to win it. So I'll be quick with it. That's what I think.
Johnny,
yeah,
Johnny, what do you think?
I hope I'm
I,
wrong.
I'm not even gonna talk about the Thunder. I don't care. I don't care what happens. If whoever wins, don't care. I'm all focused on the Knicks. It all depends on what Knicks team is gonna show up this series. Are we
The
a lackluster
2025 New
team?
York Knicks.
You know what I mean? Because this team, plays differently sometimes, and like I don't know. They're just we'll see. I don't know. Like we saw them against the Celtics. They dethroned the Celtics. They
Tatum was hurt.
Okay, that game was first of all, that game was already over when Tatum got hurt, number one. And the first 2 games they won were with Tatum. So yes, it was a factor, but it's not of a big fat factor as people make it out to be.
I
Sorry.
agree. I agree with you, Johnny. I do because it was game four. You're right. The first 2 games of the series were at the Garden. Yeah, and not at the Garden. Yeah, TD Garden. Sorry. The first 2 games of the series were at TD Garden, and they took both. And it's that's not on it's not on anyone. It's just Tatum was there. You know he was there, and the team was fully healthy for the first 2 games of the series, and for majority of the series, anyways. So that really shouldn't be an excuse. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I just all eyes are obviously on Jalen Brunson. People are talking about him being on the Knicks Mount Rushmore, top 5 Nick of all time, and my opinion is on hold on that until this series is over.
Okay,
That's it.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Deej, do you wanna lead us into our final topic of the night?
Sure, this is a solely Johnny topic because Johnny claims he knows so much about football, right, Johnny?
That's right.
Johnny is like our football guy here. All right, so there have been some rumors surrounding the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Jets. Breece Hall is rumored to be eyed by the Dallas Cowboys for trade. So the Cowboys, I guess, need a running back. I think that like that's okay. What would you say, Johnny? Because like
Yeah.
I'm a Cowboys fan, but you definitely know more football. Or, no, like air quotes, you know more football than me. So in your eyes, first off, what is the biggest area of need for the Dallas Cowboys? And if it is running back, do you think Breece Hall is a realistic get for the Cowboys? Do you think the Jets would actually move on from Breece Hall? And what do you think a potential package would look like if the Dallas Cowboys were to go out and get Breece Hall?
Well, first of all, I think the Cowboys already made a really good signing in getting George Pickens. I don't know why the Steelers gave him up. I don't know if it's because DK and him before didn't get along and had a lot of beef. I don't know. But first of all, I think that's a great move. And I tip my hat to you guys. And I don't really do that a lot, so I'm doing that now. George Pickens was a great pickup. Good
Thank you.
job. CD has a
I didn't make the trade, but thank you.
that was a big thing. They needed a guy to get behind CD Lamb, another receiver that gives a little scare. Why are you smiling? Okay.
No, nothing.
Anyway,
Nothing. Continue. Continue.
I don't know what they're gonna be willing to give up for Breece Hall. I mean, Breece Hall's a pretty solid piece for the Jets. I mean, he's their running back, their guy. I'm a little excited to see what team they're gonna be with Justin Fields. And I don't know if giving up your running back is a good idea, but if they're willing to get something from the Cowboys, which I don't know what, I really don't. Um, then sure, that's a good pickup by the Cowboys, and I think they'll be probably good again this year. They were a little disappointing last year. Uh,
Dak was hurt.
yeah,
MVP caliber Dak Prescott was hurt last year.
an MVP caliber player
He was top two in MVP 2 years ago.
years ago.
I'm just saying he was top two in MVP.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, if they can get Breece Hall, I as a Giants fan, we're not really going to be competitive this year, but that'll be a fun year. You'll have the Eagles, who are always good, uh, coming into their second year with Saquon. You'll have the Commanders, who have
Giants legend.
yeah, the Commanders, who have really been, a crazy. They came up out of nowhere. No one was expecting them to be this good. So now they're going to be a big factor in this division. And now you always got the Cowboys, who are always somewhat consistently good. So if they can get Breece Hall,
Somewhat.
they're good.
Thank you.
God. Uh, but yeah, that'd be a great move. I just don't see the Jets giving him away.
Okay. So in your eyes, this is not a realistic trade opportunity.
It's not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. You know,
Really? So it's not realistic, but you wouldn't be surprised.
it's like I'm like 60% it will happen, 40% it could. You know what I mean?
Okay. I didn't hear any rumors about this. I just opened up Instagram and I saw it.
Oh, too.
So I would be very honestly shocked if Jerry Jones woke. Jerry Jones doesn't do too many good things, like if ever. I think Pickens was like a good like outlier that like something good can happen when like resulting from pain every now and then. Um, so I don't expect this trade to happen at all, but I would so love it. I think it would be great. And I guess the last couple of things for the Dallas Cowboys, what do they have to do to be, in your eyes, an actual contender to win the Super Bowl?
They got to win the big games. It's
Okay,
really
but
it.
like I'm talking about moves, man.
Oh, oh.
I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah. If the freaking if the Giants win the big games, yeah, they're a contender too. But
Won't win any game.
like moves.
Yes. I mean, they still have George. They got Michael Parsons. They got Trayvon Diggs. Maybe find another corner. Maybe find another safety. Buff up the secondary.
Okay.
That their defense has been regressing, especially after this year. Uh, it has not been as good, so that's definitely an important factor. Dak coming back healthy. I don't obviously the big move, get a running back.
Okay.
Get a running back.
Do you believe in the saying that like teams don't really need a good running back? Like they just need to
I
have a
mean,
good like a good
you're
line, good O
you're
line.
yes, that is true. Your O line is your very dependent on your O line. So you need to get an O line that can make holes for whoever you do get
Mhm.
to be productive. That's why they don't get paid a lot of money, because that's just how it is. Um, Obviously, there's guys that are better than other guys. We see Saquon Barkley and what he can do.
Oh, we see Saquon, all right. Giants Giants legend.
I'm
There's
sorry. That was
Did you know
funny.
he won the Super Bowl with the Eagles?
Yeah, he did.
The first year he left the Giants.
We know.
That's
That
really
seems
insane
like
to think
depression
about.
for you.
They have a good O line. So when you pair up a good O line with a good running back, that's the type of year you get from a running back.
Saquon, Giants legend.
Should
Yes,
have never gave him up.
Yeah.
Should have never let him
it,
go away.
it wouldn't have mattered.
I mean, what if you traded out for Gene Daniels? That would have mattered.
And yeah, it would have mattered, but we
Yeah.
did. That'd be a completely different teams. But now, like, listen, first of all, I don't know why people are crying about it. If we had Saquon last year, we would have won maybe what, 2 more games? That's it.
I mean, 6 is better than 4, right?
Because you still don't make the playoffs regardless.
Yeah, but 6 is still better than 4.
We got okay, well, whatever. We have our quarterback. We have the guys we made. Brian Scatterbo.
Russell Wilson.
Scatterbo's he's there for a year. Jackson Dart is the future of this team. We just got Scatterbo in the draft, and we just got the best rusher in the draft, Abdul Carter. Very excited about the Giants. We'll be good in the next 2, 3 years. I can guarantee that.
4-win season incoming, maybe?
No. And by
No?
the way,
No,
he
five.
texted
Deej,
me,
5 wins.
Zach, I don't know if
Oh,
you know
five
this,
wins. That's right.
but Deej texted me during the draft about Jackson. I told him about Jackson Dart, and he was like, "Wow, the Giants are going to be a fun team to watch in the
I
coming."
didn't, yeah, that doesn't mean they're going to be good.
Of that. What does it
Fun,
mean?
They had a
fun
really good
and
draft.
They
They
had a
had a
great
really good draft.
yeah,
draft.
fun and good are two different things.
So what do
Wh-
you mean by fun?
When the Nets won 28 games, I said that was a fun team because they were dancing on the sideline. That didn't mean they were good.
Okay. Well, I see a fun team as a team that wins a lot and a team that makes a team
Well,
fun.
no duh, a team that wins a lot's going to be fun, but I just mean
So
like
what's going to make them fun if they're not winning?
fun, it's an objective word, whatever you want to classify as fun.
Okay.
You know, I don't like peanut butter, so Zach might think peanut butter's fun. I don't. It's You don't like peanut butter either. Oh my gosh.
I don't like it.
You don't. Wow. So we might have we might actually agree on something.
Yeah.
That peanut I hate peanut butter.
Inside joke.
What has this become? What has this become?
Wow.
A little off topic. It's all right.
It's all right. Little inside joke, Johnny.
Yeah.
No. I didn't even intend it to be like that. It just kind of happened. Wow.
I heard it. Yeah.
No one has it worse, right? Ain't that the truth?
It is the
Ain't
truth.
that the truth?
Ain't that the truth? No one has it worse.
But with that being said, I don't know if you guys have anything else to add about Breece Hall and potentially going to Dallas, but that about wraps up episode 55 of the Do You Know Ball podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed and keep leaving likes and commenting and keep giving all the love you could possibly can on all of our videos. We enjoy it. We appreciate it greatly. And we will catch you guys next time for episode 56. See ya.